the folder structure needs to be improved because in our project, our folder structure is like this. HTML file will be there, and there will be a README file and images folder, which will have all the images. Then CSS folder will have the CSS. Likewise, you have to maintain proper folder structure and proper file name. Recreate.html is not a right class name. It should be index.html. And you are referring some background image, but your repository doesn't have any image at all. So we have to fix that. And there is no possibility of having two closing parameters, closing brackets in CSS. So you have to delete one. That's it. Looks fine. Other than that, good work. And then you can close this. Then yeah. From other also it looks good. One thing that I found is having image folder inside CSS. You have to cut this image folder from here and put it outside of this. This is one point that I noticed for Madan's work. And the commit is 2 days back, which means you didn't commit anything yesterday. Have a consistent work. Every day you should work. So plan your day accordingly. At least 30 minutes, that is okay. When you have a very busy day, you can spend at least 30 minutes. So make sure you have at least one commit per day until you complete this project. Okay. Ashwin's repository is good. I don't see any mistake here. So, Abnesh work is also good. Hope I already told this. If not, is also good output. That's it. And that's all about the code review because I didn't receive repository from others. Please make sure you spend enough time for practice. Otherwise, it will be like a one-side story. After our yesterday's session, I have made one small change in our repository. That is for sections in which we have added content, there is no background image, which means I have removed background image for sections for which we have added content. For this feature section, we already have content, so I have removed background color for this. but this abort section we haven't completed, so it still remains with background color. For other sections, I have removed it. And the layout that are pending or layout that I haven't taught you is quick links, header, testimonial, portfolio, and then contact us. That's it. Rest of the things that you can develop yourself, because that will follow the same flow like other sections. Example, you can complete a layout for about us page, about us section, then you can very well complete layout for other sections like pricing, teams, and other sections which I didn't mention. Okay, so now we can focus on other important sections like this header, quick link section and header. Those are slightly different from this kind of boxes. We can take this today and we can try to complete one section 100%. I would say I will take this banner section today and I will target to complete the layout for quick links and header, and then complete this section 100%, which means we will focus on styling the content as well in today's class. Open quick links. Quick links has two sections. One is in left side, another one is in right side. So we will need the flex concept. So we can add necessary selectors here. Okay, and the basic styles that we have already given for flex container will come here as well. Display flex. Let me go to my page and refresh this. Contact info is in left side. Social link is also in left side. But what I want is this one should be in left edge, and this one, the social link, should be in right edge of the container. So what I have to give so that I will get this output. The box will be aligned from left and right edges. To achieve that, the flex items should be aligned in left and right edges. To achieve this, what style I have to give? Can anyone give? the answer in comment box for which selector I have to style and which style I have to apply. I have two selectors. This F container and another one is F item. I have to add one single style so that I can achieve this alignment. That is, contact info will be in left side and social link will be in right side. How can I achieve that? Any idea? Space between. Yep. Justify content, space between. Why I have given this? Space between starts in left edge and it ends in right edge. And if there is any other boxes, then that will come in the center alignment. So this is what I need. Yeah. So if I refresh this, you will get one in left edge and another one in right edge. So, and then header. This also follows the same layout. So what I will do is to simplify the time, to save time, I will just copy from here and paste here. Instead of contact info, I will put logo, and instead of social link, I will put navigation. That's it. I have just used the same style. I can write like this also, because same style has to be applied for two different elements. So I can write this also and delete this. This is the right way of implementation, in fact, but I don't want to merge two sections. I want to have styles for each section separately. That's why I have rewritten the same styles and wrote corresponding selectors. Switch this. Okay. This also have come good. I can remove the background color for this section, for this section. That's it. Okay. Before moving on to this welcome section, let me complete on one more layout as well. One more little bit challenging section, we can say in that way. It is contact us. So going to our reference page, contact us section is slightly different from other sections, because other sections we have developed didn't have different column sizes. Means this alone has different column sizes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 3 different sizes, or we can say 1 and 2, 2 different size of spaces. These two will occupy same size. These 3 items will occupy same size. So this is a slightly different one. So we can achieve this now. Container is mandatory for our layout. This has header and content, right? This has header section and content section. So we need to have div for this. And the section content has a flux container. Someone will treat the first row as one flux container and second one as another flux container. That is also correct. But I will see the entire section as a single flux container. So it's up to your personal decision how you want to segregate each section. The first one is address. Second one is email. Third one, call us. Fourth one is map. One is form. You have okay. So let me write necessary selectors for this. How can I copy the entire line and paste it? What is the shortcut? Can anyone tell in chat box? Visual Studio. How can I copy the entire line and paste it immediately without selecting that line? Control C. Then how to paste? Yeah. So you don't need to select it. Just Control C and Control V will copy the entire line and paste it. And here we saw that there are two types of flux items. One is you can instead of giving one, can give name like A, and another one is it looks like Z. So that is also fine. So there are two different layouts. One is A, another one is Z. So I will give So can add this as well. Here you have to notice one important change. There is no space between F item and size A. But if you see any other selector, there will be space between one class name and another class name, or one selector and another selector. But here there is no space. The reason is it represents a single element. A single element should have this class name as well as this class name. So that the element will be selected. So here we have two classes for a single element, right? So we have to write without giving space between the two selectors. Keep this in mind because many will make mistake like this. If you put something like this, then you are referring an element with class name size A that is inside F item. Like this. So if you write something like this, then only this selector will select contact inside that flex item, inside that size A. So if you have some structure like this, then only you have to write like this. But in our case, flex item directly has another class name, so you should not leave any space. Okay, so the selector is ready. So we can go to our web page and start writing styles there. Contact for section title, I will give some height so that the next section, that is section content, will start at right place. You know that you can see the color here. There is a slight different color variation since I have hovered on this selector. It represents how much area it occupies. 275 is fine for me. Copy this and paste here. Then I can focus on this one. So I have to give display flex. Okay. So all elements are in single row now. Address, email, callers, map, form. But in my layout, first three is on first row and fourth and fifth are in second row. So which means the flex item should come to next line also. To achieve that, what I have to apply? Can anyone tell me? To bring flex items to next line, what style we have to apply? Flex wrap and value. Okay, here is the explanation. If you don't give any value, then you are saying it is no wrap. No wrap means you can give any number of flex items, everything will come in single row. But if you want to bring some items to next line based on its width, then you have to give flex wrap. but it won't come down since there is no enough width for each item. Now we have two different width. One is size A and another one is size Z. For size A, I need to apply some width. It should be almost 50%, right? You can say like in total size, in total available size, it occupies 50%. So I have to apply 50% for A, and Z occupies 25%. So what is selector? Sorry, what is the parameter? Style parameter I have to apply to achieve that width. You have already done this for another section, so you should not take more time here. I am eagerly seeing the chat box for the answer. But I haven't received. Why so? We have already done that, right? For this feature section, how we achieved width for these boxes. Do you remember how we achieved width for these boxes? Flux item, flux basis, 20%. The same you have to give here. Instead of 20%, you can give 50%. Now you can see address and map has come into different line, and address occupies 50%. You can give some background color or something to see that, but email and callers are close to each other because we didn't give any value for it. Or size give, and if it's the right value, and if I give text line center, then all flux item will have center alignment, and you can apply some height or box shadow, whatever needed to achieve this layout. Are you clear with this? Any questions? Have any questions you can ask? Meanwhile, I will copy these styles from my browser and paste it in my code. You may need to slightly reduce the width when you give padding, it based on the need. So since no one asked any questions, I believe you understand the flux concept clearly. You can remove the background color for this section as well. For frequently asking questions, the height is not correct. That's why the contact is overlapping on FAQ section. So we have to increase the height of this FAQ section so that the contact will start from this white line. Okay. Well, so that you can try in your code. You can move on to the next one. And for now, you can skip portfolio section and testimonial section. You can skip these two sections. One more section that you can. Okay, this one you can do exactly like how we develop the contactor section. Each follows the same bit. Here HTML 100% and the for. This will be one flux item. Okay, these things. Yeah. This is one flux item. So totally there are 6 flux items and each flux item has the same width and the width is 50%. So you will give flux basis as width, flux basis as 50%, and it comes in next line. So you will give wrap. That's it. Other than that, there is no difference. But this style, like having a background color and the progress, for that we need to apply some styles, but now our focus is not at all on content part. We are focusing on layout only. I spend more time for layout because it is very, very important. You should understand the concept, the layouting concept very well. It is not mandatory to learn all the flux concepts. That's why I have kept this page open. This will have so many flux properties, but if you see our code, it will have maximum of 5 properties only. Display flux, flux wrap, what else? Flux basis 3, justify content 4, justify content, that's it, that we have already discussed. Just 4 parameters are enough to achieve this layout. Okay, this is the difference between practical knowledge and theoretical knowledge. Someone will be very good if you ask them at any time, they will answer any question from Flexbox, but they will not know how to implement the concept to achieve such layout. That knowledge, if someone has, then they can become a teacher in school. They cannot become an IT professional. To become an IT professional, or to become a professional, in fact, they should know how to use these learnings to do some work. Okay, and when you do some works, the need for the theoretical concept will be very less, but your mind should be able to think. That is very important. Okay, well, with this you can develop the entire page. I mean, you can develop the entire layout except the testimonial and the portfolio. These two also you can develop, but I don't want to confuse you because of two things. One is this will have multiple type of columns. This everything will not end in same line. We call it as prototype, so I don't want to confuse here. And this will be more of a jQuery or a JavaScript oriented widget. So you can skip this section as well. Other than that, you can build all other sections. Everything will be easy. And for the last section also, you have to follow this technique. Like one is on left hand and another one is on right hand. The same concept we will use for the last section. So now you have the technical inputs required to complete layout of the entire web page. So the next part is content. Let us start with the banner section. So what are all the content available in this section? The first one is background image, and the next one is a heading tag, then a paragraph tag, then 2 buttons. Okay, so we need this background image first. How can we take this background image from here? There are multiple ways. The easiest way is and simply inspect it and find the corresponding element. If I select this element, it occupies the entire area. So the possibility of applying background image for this element is more high. And if I come here, yes, and hide and open to ensure you have selected the right one, and right click on it, open a new tab. Just come, Control S, and you can save in your project folder. hero-bg.jpg. So I have to apply this for me. One step back from main.css, I need to go back one step. So I will put // then I will simply select from the drop down. You people are living in such a beautiful world where you don't need to type at all. Before Visual Studio Code, you won't even know whether you are writing the right path or not, only by understanding you have to do. So you cannot validate here itself. Now you can easily validate. Okay, so background image. And if I want the background to occupy the entire section, if I want to occupy my background image to occupy the entire section, what I have to give? Any idea? What property I have to give? Background size cover. Refresh my page. Background image has come, but the problem is I lost my reference design. So what I have to do? Can comment this for now until I complete other styles. So now the background image is available. I mean, the reference design is available as well as the content is available. So okay, here we have directly added this inside a container. Instead of that, I like to do one thing. I'll cut all and implement Flux concept here as well. I will tell you why after some time. We don't give any difference in the output. Okay, let us apply the style first and see whether it makes any difference. No difference because it has only one flex item, so it is not mandatory, but I like to give this for one particular reason that I will tell in the end. So now it is time to apply corresponding proper selectors. It is biggest one, so I will give H1 for this, and for this I will give paragraph. Here is not needed. H1 paragraph, and get started is a link, so I can give A, and watch video also a link. Again it will be a tag. Okay, here we make one beautiful mistake. That is, H1 is a block element, paragraph is a block element, but the next child A is an inline element. You should not have a layout like this. If an element has block level element, if a div or any selector has block element as its child, then all its siblings for H1, paragraph and A tag are siblings. So for all its siblings should be a block element. So keep this in mind. So how can we achieve that? I will again put one div. A div is a block element, and inside the div I will put my remaining two A tags. So this div has two inline elements, that is completely okay, but this div should have all elements as block element. So H1 is a block element, paragraph is a block element, div is a block element, and that block has two inline element. This is okay, and I will give a class name like class CTA wrap. What is CTA? CTA means call to action. What is the primary expected action from the user? That we call as call to action. What is the primary expected action from the user? If you go to any business website, you will see these kind of buttons. This is one website that we developed for one of our clients. If you see this, you can very well see the try autonomous IQ button is the call to action button. Like that, every web page will have a call to action. The famous website, facebook.com. If you go there, the login and create account are there call to action buttons like that. That will be predominantly shown to the user. Okay, that's why I call it as CTA. There is no technical reason. There is no technical. It is not a technical word. Call to action. It's a business term. Okay. So now we need to have selectors for this. CTA. And this has a different. Make sure you give hash. Make sure you add href attribute for a tag, and I give primary.
ಸರ್ ಇದು ಐಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾನರ್ ಇದೆ.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Thank you. So I will give primary button and secondary button. There are mostly website will have these two types of buttons. One is primary button, another one is secondary button. and these two buttons will come in multiple sections. So I will cut it from here and put it here so that I can use these two buttons in multiple areas. Also, I will add the same here as well. I will tell the difference when I apply. So now we have got all necessary selectors. The only thing is we need to apply styles. For H1, apply some padding, top. And font size 40 pixel. And I don't know what font family they have used. Can very well find it easily. Poppins is a Google font. So how can we add Google fonts? Fonts.google.com. Then search Poppins. We'll get it. Click it and select this sub styles. It has 18 types of varieties. It has 18 varieties. You can select all, but not necessary. So you can select some common, mostly used things. Now you don't need to focus more about it. You can simply copy few items. Don't select the italic. It is not needed. So just select this medium, this one only. Don't select the italic values because we can easily achieve italics via CSS itself. So I copy all font variants from light to bold. So I have so many things, and now I need to bring this to my web page. It is very easy. Just copy this code from here and add it in your web page after your reset. Don't add it before reset, add it after reset, and you can delete this. Why you should delete this? Because sometimes when you access HTTPS from my HTTP path, it may lead to some error. So it is safe to delete this. So it will automatically take. Let me apply this to style to my HTML and refresh this. It has come. Now it will take some extra time since we are calling one background, sorry, one external path. It is loaded. One error. File not sorry. Okay, since we don't use localhost, we should not do this. If you use localhost, then you can follow this technique, but we don't use any local server, so safe to avoid that. Okay. And give font family as, don't type like this. Always go to the Google website and they would have mentioned this. So copy from here and paste it in your code. Don't type yourself. Definitely you will make spelling mistake. So now it will look good. But the problem here is the BISLand alone has different color. How can we achieve that? So span or a span which is inside H1, I will give color some blue. Anyways, I can take the correct class color name from my reference website. So BISLand. So we can unhide this and see how it has come. There is one white layer, right? So there is one white layer in the background image that I will teach you after some time. For now, you can keep it as a simple plain background image. So BISLand, this has come. Likewise, we have to apply styles for the remaining elements as well. That is the paragraph tag. We have to apply the same way, and then the button, the paragraph also. And mostly they will use a single font family for the entire web page. So you can give font family for body tag so that it will be applied for entire web page, and it is safe to give some local fonts as alternate font, because in case Google server is down, then this pop-in will not work because we depend on external path to give this pop-ins. So if in case it is not working, then our page will have Arial. Arial is also a decent font family, so you can give like this. So this, now your entire web page will have pop-ins as the font family. Okay, padding bottom 12 pixel. Play this for your tag and start applying font. One more. Plum. My mom. So paragraph, I have applied font size 22. That looks good, and I will give padding bottom. So that this will also come down. This looks okay. Copy this. And okay, you can copy the correct background color from this, and we need to apply some padding. But when you apply padding for an inline element, A is an inline element. So when you apply padding for an inline element, you have to make it as inline block padding 4px Then 40 pixel. It's two more. Okay, this looks good. And the color is white. And there is border radius or px. So just copy this, but don't apply for this selector because all primary button will have this styles. So you can paste it in the common. Okay, and you don't need underline here. So how can we remove the underline? Text decoration none. Let me select the right class name. Okay, text decoration none. You refresh our page, it will look good, and I can increase the left and right padding. I'm giving some random values which matches my reference page. And the next one is secondary. For secondary, there is one icon, but we cannot add icon now since we haven't practiced font have some or an embedded icon based font based icons that we will learn later. So for now, we can assume that watch video has just plain black color text. So that is a secondary button, right? So for secondary button, apply color black, text decoration none. That's it. So simply copy and paste this here, and we have added all necessary styles, so we can remove the comment so that our background image will also be displayed here. Okay, and there is a decent spacing is needed between two buttons. You can see this. There is some space, but this spacing should not be applied to the common class name, which means there is a primary button and secondary button, right? You should not achieve that spacing here because for this area, for this section, some spacing is needed. It doesn't mean that the primary button will come to other area. There also a spacing will be needed. We cannot assume like that. So the spacing is the property of or the concept of this particular section. So what we have to do, the banner A for this one, we have to give margin right 10 pixel, save it, push it, we will get this space. You can increase it if needed. So we have almost got a decent output that looks like our web page. The only thing that we couldn't achieve is the white color or the transparent background image. Let us try to achieve it in few minutes. Before explaining this, let me simply copy and paste it in our project, and then I will explain you. Yeah, we have got that transparent output. Now you can compare our work with our reference work. It will match like anything. What an output. Even I love it. So our output should be like this. But for blue color, I gave one plain blue that is wrong. So can give correct blue color. Well, okay, now I explain you the concept. Colon before is a pseudo selector. Okay, so it will add one dummy element in your selector. So in banner, it will add one dummy element. And go and check here, or instead of that, what we can do is, don't want to confuse you much. So I have added one div and I have given class name as white overlay. Okay, I should not add here. Add it here. So I have added one white overlay in my inside my banner. So how can we apply styles for this? Okay. And this is not needed. And I have made this as an position absolute. Did Pavitra taught position absolute concept to you? Say yes, no. If she has taught you, then say yes. Otherwise, we should not study now. Yes, super then. Okay, so you know position absolute concept, right? A position absolute means it will not be in the content flow. It will follow its relative parent. So I have given position relative for its parent, that is banner, and then I have given top 0, left 0, bottom 0, right 0, which means it will start from the left edge, left top edge, and it will end at bottom right edge, which means it will occupy the entire area of its parent. It will, if you give values like this, then it will occupy the entire area of its parent. And I have given background color as RGBA 255, 255, 255, 0.6, which means white color and 60% opacity. Alpha means opacity, transparency. Okay, you can change this value to change the, take a different variant, but in our requirement, we have to give 60% opacity. So this will add one element, and that will add the expected light white color background. And you need to give position again. You need to give position relative for the next element, either this container or this flex container. Otherwise, this white overlay will hide this content as well. Let me delete this position relative and show you the output. Now you can see that overlay is above our welcome to this land and other stuff as well. But I don't want that. I want the overlay should be between the background image and the text. The overlay should be between the background image and the text. So you have to make this flex container also as position relative. So what happened? White overlay as position relative, and okay, I have to add it first. Yeah, if I add it first, the priority will vary. If I add here, then this will be placed first, and then this will be placed. So it will get the maximum order. So it gets it. But if I add it in the bottom, then I have to give is set index 2 or 3 or whatever. So you have to give is set index higher index is set index value to override the default flow. But if you add it in top, then this index value will not be needed at all. Okay, so you can try implementing this. I will push the code. So the code is available in repository now. You can go and check in my repo if you want. $20 ago. So definitely there is one commit. And you can check what are the styles that we have added in this session. Okay, that's all. So now you have knowledge to develop almost most of the sections, but it will be difficult for you to achieve these icons. So don't focus on it. Just apply this kind of typography based styles and try to complete as much as possible before tomorrow's session. Tomorrow, I don't think I can take live class, but I will record some video and share it with you. So make yourself available tomorrow and practice those steps as well. And you will target to complete the entire layout by this weekend. Okay, so travel along with me, spend enough time for learning and practice, then only you can cope up, and you will feel great when you complete this web page with when you get this kind of quality output. Okay, any questions? If yes, you can stay or you can leave for the day. We'll share the recording shortly.